look at how to create and run CGAP elements. I recommend that you first try surface-to-surface contact as shown in this video. But if for some reason you absolutely must use CGAP elements, then here's how to do it. So we'll begin by starting from scratch, creating some new geometry. We'll create a couple of blocks. And what I'm going to do is use a rectangular offset to put a 50 thousandths gap between the two blocks. All right, that looks good. Let's go ahead and assign a material property to the blocks. That way we can inherit the material properties in our simulation model. Next, we'll go create our simulation models in the Simcenter Nastran structural environment. And we're going to create a linear static solution 101. We'll call it 101 CGAP. And if we're going to use linear contact elements, we need to turn on treat CGAP as linear contact elements. All right, next we'll create a brick mesh on our blocks. And there's a couple of different methods that we could use to create our gap elements. Here you can see we have contact mesh and surface contact, but we'll use 1D connection. We'll create a node to node, and we'll use an editable node to node connection, with the method of connection being proximity. Next, we'll define our source region. Now I have my model set up such that the x direction, which is the direction for our absolute coordinate system, happens to be the same as the normal direction for our source region. And this is going to be important in defining our mesh associated data, which we'll do in just a moment. So now I've selected the nodes on the larger block, which have the normal in the positive x direction as my source region. My target region is going to be the nodes adjacent to it on the smaller block, and we'll use CGAP elements to create our 1D connection. So here, if we expand our 1D collectors, you can see the gap elements. That looks good. Next, we'll edit our mesh associated data. And this is where we're going to specify what coordinate system we're using for our gap elements. And if you needed to specify a different x direction for the normal direction of your source face, you could do that by specifying a new coordinate system. But because mine just happens to line up, I can use the absolute coordinate system. Next, we'll specify our initial gap opening of 50 thousandths as we had defined it in the CAD model. Next, we can define our axial stiffness for a closed gap, and this is in the positive x direction. Next, the axial stiffness for the open gap is 0, and that's going to be in the negative x direction as defined by our mesh associated data, which specifies our absolute coordinate system. Now that we've defined our gap properties, we'll go ahead and create another subcase. We'd like to create two subcases. One of them is going to be for our open condition, where we'll put a load that will force the parts apart. And next will be a closed subcase, which will apply a different load, which will force the parts together. All right, next we'll create a global constraint to fix those faces on the blocks. And then in our open subcase, we'll create a pressure load that will push the two parts apart. And in the closed subcase, we'll create a pressure load that will push the parts together. All right, so that looks good. We're ready to run. Let's go ahead and solve. This will be a live solve. I have the solution monitor turned on in my solver parameters. Here you can see it takes 4 seconds to run. And we can view our results. So here we have our two subcases. The first one is pushing them apart. Let's change the deform view to be 1-to-1 so we can see the actual displacement that it's pushing it apart. And next we'll take a look at the stresses in the part. Here you can see there's a lot of stress in one of the blocks, and there should be 0 stress in the smaller one because the parts are being pulled apart. So here if we just look at that small block, you can see there's no stress at all in it, and that's what we would expect. Next we'll step forward to the second subcase, and we can see the pressure that's pushing the blocks together. And here if we isolate that small block, we can see that there are stresses in that because the blocks are being pushed into contact. And if we take a close look at that, you can see where the blocks are coming into contact. All right, so that looks good. Lastly, we can see the displacements. So you can see the parts coming into contact. And that's how to create and run linear CGAP elements.